Hey, you ever had an exceptional moment in time where you had a great opportunity? Could you imagine stepping into an elevator with one of the most influential people in the world? Someone who literally impacts thousands of people every single day. And they were the only one in the elevator, and they turned to you and said, "Hey, what are you about? What's your story?" What would you say? Knowing that what you say could actually impact so many other people if it impacts this person. Well, today in our scripture, in the book of Acts, we have Paul who kind of has that situation. The influential person is King Agrippa. And he basically asked Paul, "Tell me what you're all about. Tell me your story." And Paul talks about his before, what he was like before Jesus, and then that encounter on the road to Damascus, and how that altered his life and transformed him. And it made him from somebody who persecuted the way, Christians, to somebody who was one of them, sharing the gospel, sharing this truth about who God is. And actually, if we look at our scriptures today, I think the last two verses of our section, I think it's verse 22 and 23 of chapter 26. And this is Paul speaking. "But God has helped me to this very day, so I stand here and testify to small and great alike. I am saying nothing beyond what the prophets and Moses said would happen, that the Messiah would suffer, and as the first to rise from the dead, would bring the message of light to his own people and to the Gentiles." So that's what Paul is summing up his story is about. It's about figuring out who this Messiah is that's mentioned all throughout scriptures, that it's actually this scripture, the Old Testament in his time, and now the whole Bible in our time, is all about this guy, Jesus. That he's the one who came to save the Jews and then also the Gentiles, which is me, which is us. Those outside of the Jewish culture and heritage. If you got asked that question by someone super influential, how would you respond? How would you sum up your story, and even more importantly, your story of Jesus? Would you be able to, with confidence, say, "Hey, this is what my life's about, and this is who Jesus is"? Is that what your life is about today? What is your life about today? That's a great question to ask yourself. And maybe ask yourself, what is my story? How can I share what my life is about today?